being on tour with Hustle Gang made me realize that I have a temper problem. I snap about everything, and then like after I snap, I'm like, why the fuck did I just do that?
You mean like diva tendencies?
No. I'm like the easiest person with that type of shit. Like if they need us to be ready at a certain time, I'm there like 5 minutes early. But like if we were all, on the tour bus, like Tip and Dro them, they had their bus, and then like Hustle Gang had our bus. So like after the show, if it's girls on the bus and they're like being too loud or too extra, like that shit irritates my soul. I'll kick everybody off the fucking bus. I don't care if it's your mom visiting. I don't give a fuck. Everybody got to get off the bus. I snap about a lot of shit though. Like it's bad.
You didn't look like you snapped very much on your Snapchat or other people's Snapchats when people had you on there. I didn't see you snap at all.
That's a good thing then. I'm trying to like stop though, but like the good thing about it is everybody that was on the tour with us, they tried to do everything in their power to stop me from snapping. Like London or Book or Dro or somebody, like if they know something is about to happen, they be like, stop this shit before Tote come. It's like we're in the Matrix or something. They like pause time and fix it, and then I come in.
I sure was wondering about how that tour went because you were like the only female on there, right?
Yeah.
Were you the only female on the bus too, or were there other females on the bus as well aside from yourself?
I was the only girl on the bus up until maybe we had about 10 cities left, and then I had another one of my makeup artists join me.
Now, how is that being the only female on a tour bus?
I'm like sheltered from everything. They treated me like I was a child, which is probably a good thing. But everybody expected like the boys to be like super stink or dirty and stuff like that, but they weren't for the most part. There was one person on the tour. No, two people on the tour that like were really, really stink. But we had code words, like when they would be about to come on the bus, we'd be like, this is that pussy ass shit. Because they smell like pussy and ass. And it was two guys.
People think touring is easy. I've been on tour before, and sometimes catching a shower is hard to do in a city, especially the way the scheduling is.
Right.
And how everything is. But sometimes there's no time for a hotel room.
Right.
Sometimes you have to shower at the actual venue. And I don't think people realize that some of those venues are really dirty, and you don't even want to be taking a shower that time. You might just want to hold it until the next day.
Right.
Did you have that similar experience? Did you see that?
We didn't get rooms in every city we went to. But there are, the showers and shit, and the venues, most of them are dirty as hell. But every city we went to, we would at least get a day room so that we could take showers and shit. But we didn't have rooms to like sleep in every night because we were usually like leaving right after the shows.
And then then it's like a tussle over who goes in first.
I would always go first. And then everybody else, whatever order they choose to go in, but I would always go first.
Now that's good if you're the first person to get in there. Now, when it comes to touring, what bothers you the most about it? Anything that stuck out to you that was like your biggest pet peeve with touring?
Security. I hate security everywhere. Like, I don't want security. Leave me the hell alone. Like, they can see you perform, and if you like walk out of the back and try to come back in, you gotta go through everything to get back in. And we had like Hustle Gang credentials, but I'm not putting on no fucking badge. That's lame to me. So I hate security. That's probably it. Everything else was cool, and it might have been cool because of the people that I was with, but security, yeah.
Was there merch being sold also during the tour?
Yeah, we had the Hustle Gang merch and then the asshole merch, Trade the Truth.
But you didn't have any personal
I wasn't doing that.
Merch on this one. Now, this is your first tour experience, the Hustle Gang tour? Your first real tour experience?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Top 3 road necessities.
Top 3 things you have to have on tour.
For you.
At the show or on the bus?
Period. Top 3 road necessities for you.
Okay. So you have to have disinfectant spray because there's too many people coming in and off the bus. And then we had somebody piss on our bus.
You mean like piss on the bunk bed?
No, like she was drunk and you know you have like the front area, then you have the bunk area, then you have the back.
Like the master suite.
Yeah, they was all in the front chilling. And she was like dancing and shit, and she just started pissing. She didn't even know she was pissing.
That's embarrassing.
She didn't even know. And then they kicked her off the bus. She was still trying to dance and shit. Nah, bro. So you need disinfectant spray. You gotta have liquor. You gotta have weed. That's like the key to have a good time.
A particular strain, a particular type of liquor?
I don't like weed from Atlanta. Weed from Atlanta makes me paranoid as hell, so nothing from Atlanta. We had some real good weed from LA, of course. I like the cookies in LA. And we had some good weed in, what's the shit with it has like the highest suicide rate. Starts with the S. Is it, the shit with like the trains, the trolleys, they go like up the middle of the street.
San Francisco?
San Francisco. There was some good weed there.
I didn't know their suicide rate was that high.
It's like one of the highest places in the U.S. I learned that when I went.
Could be a lot of stress going on in that city.
It has to be. They need to smoke more weed.
I heard it's very expensive to live in San Francisco.
It's dope there, though.
And it's a lot of technology stuff going on. I think they got like the Google headquarters there and the Facebook.
Facebook is there, too.
Did you get a chance to go to them?
Yep, I got verified.
You got verified by going to the campus?
I got verified before I went, but we went while we were there.
Oh, okay. Now, first thing you do when you get back to your hometown off the road?
Went grocery shopping.
That was the first thing you did?
Yes, I wanted to eat like real food. I went grocery shopping, then I cleaned up. I do like old people shit. Then I cleaned up.
Sounds like it. Sounds very old. Now, on stage, mishaps can happen. A couple years ago, I saw Diddy fall really crazy on the BET Awards. Did you have any stage mishaps?
I think I performed in like a top sort of like this, but there wasn't straps on it. And I think my breast popped out one time. But luckily, nobody was able to get any footage of any of that or whatever.
So clothing malfunction.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing with females.
Now, what about as far as the fans? I've seen some crazy stuff happen on tour. Craziest fan encounter that happened to you? Anything that stuck out?
Hell yeah, a lot of shit. When we would perform, we would have like a break between like Hustle Gang and the Grand Hustle people performing. So like after we go, like Trade the Truth would come on after us, but it was like a 10-minute break. So me, Young Book, and London would go pass out CDs in the crowd, but it's like we would go in the area that's between like the stage and the Barricade. Okay. So as we're like out there, this lady, she like grabs me and she like starts choking me and she's like, I came just for you. You my bitch. Bitch, you had to fucking kill me. But that's probably the craziest thing so far. But that's like one of the things that stuck out to me. I'm never gonna forget that shit. She was choking the fuck out of me and security ain't come help me.
Like just
the time I needed them, they
like
didn't
just
help.
Excited, or was this like a stalker fan?
I don't think
like
she knew
wanted
she
to...
was choking me. But speaking of stalkers, we performed in New Jersey, and ever since then, it's been this old guy that follows me on Twitter. He tweets me every day. He tweets me 10 times a day, and if you scroll down his Twitter, like all of his tweets are to Tokyo Jetz. It's so weird.
And he came to the show and saw you?
Yes. Luckily, I didn't see him, but he was there.
He might be watching this.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Funniest fan encounter?
The funniest fan.
Anything that made you laugh on tour?
Probably DC on Fly.
Okay.
He came to one of our Up North shows, but he did like a little segment before Trade the Truth came out. He brought Trey out, and then he was chilling backstage with us for a while. But he's funny as shit. I thought it was just like some internet shit.
Who's funnier, him or Lil Duval?
Oh God, you gonna put me on the spot like that? I would have to say Duval though. Like,
Duval has more experience.
That's probably one reason.
I would say that's a fact.
But if it's like a such thing as like new comedy, I would say DC.
A lot of people have watched DC from nothing, rapping and not even doing comedy, to where he's at now on MTV and in movies and stuff like that. So people have been watching his growth. Now, okay, what about, let me ask you this. Sometimes I see, like, especially, and I don't know, when I watched some of your tour performances, I did see like the Barricade thing where, you know, you had the stage, then there was some space, maybe security and stuff like that, or media or whatever, and then you'd have the Barricade and then the fans.
Yeah.
But sometimes I've seen you, well, not, maybe it's been at some of your events before, maybe on tour, maybe not on tour, but there's instances where people can, different venues, depending on the venue, if there's no Barricade, they can be able to touch you. Like, if you're on stage, they can grab at you, grab at your legs, stuff like that. And you see that with a lot of guys when they perform. You know, like women will grab their leg, their crotch,
Gates, yeah.
stuff like that. And we've seen crazy things happen, like where one instance Kevin Gates kicked a female fan or whatever.
For that innocent man.
And had to go do some time for that. But has that ever happened to you where people are groping you or grabbing on you while you're on stage?
Nah, they don't grab me like inappropriately. I've had people try to like pull me into the crowd. But I actually prefer the stages where it's like the stage and then the crowd, like no Barricade. They vibe better when it's no Barricade.
What about, I've seen different, again, different tours, different venues. I've seen a lot of rappers recently crowd surfing and going crazy and jumping in the crowd. Have you ever had thoughts on that?
Hell no. I'm not doing it. I don't want to jump in the crowd and then like, what if they move out the way? I think they did that to the XX extension. Nah, bro, I'm not doing that. They might move out the way. They might start beating me up. They might grab my jewelry.
So there hasn't been like one show you're like, if I could, I would do it on this one, but I'm not.
Probably we did 2 shows somewhere because we sold out the first one in like 5 hours. I think it was Indianapolis. I probably would have did it there, if anywhere. But that's about it. Like, you have to have a certain crowd for it, because I'm scared.
Now, you opened up on the tour.
Yeah. Right?
You were one of the earlier performers. So how did they decide between, like, was it always you, Book, in London that started it off?
Nah, it's like in certain cities we would have people from those cities that would open up first, and then like you have the Hustle Gang set, and then after that you have the Grand Hustle set. The Hustle Gang set was basically in order on our, like, the Grand Hustle picked the order, but it was basically on our stage presence and our hypeness or whatever. So you would have Translee first, then London J, then Ra Ra, then me, then Book. And then sometimes it would change depending on the city we're in. Like, in all of the Florida cities, I performed last. And then we went to Alabama, Translee performed last, just because we wanted him to do that, because that's where he's from.
And then it would be Trey and then Dro?
It would be Trey, and then sometimes if Mac Boney was there, he would perform. And then Tip would come out. Dro came out like halfway on Tip's set. And then Tip closed the show, and then we all came back out at the end.
B.o.b. did some cities?
Yeah, he did some cities too. So Trey would go, and then Bob, and then Tip and Dro.
Now, when it comes to opening, right, and being one of the earlier performers on a tour like that, what are some do's and don'ts? Somebody watching this, maybe they're kind of in a similar predicament, and they've got to be on that early card. Yeah. What would you tell somebody watching this? Any do's or don'ts?
You got to be able to control the crowd. Like, you can't get up there and freeze up, because they feed off your energy. So if you get up there and, like, you're not giving them nothing, they're going to give you the same thing. So then you're going to feel like it's pointless to, you know, do what you're doing. But you just got to have fun. Like, if you ever see me perform, I got the biggest smile in the world. People probably think I be high as shit. But I'm sober and I'm having fun.
Now, you did mention earlier that you like liquor or marijuana on the tour bus, but you're sober when you perform?
Yeah, I forget my words if I'm high.
Oh, I didn't know that. So that's more like after you're done
performing? Yeah, as soon as I'm done. I probably take a shot before I perform if DJ Sosa is there, because he makes me. But other than that, I'm sober before I perform, and then everything else happens after.
Now, obviously, you're from Florida, so I'm imagining you probably got a lot of good crowd participation and stuff in those areas.
Right.
But what about in maybe some of the lesser known cities that you might have not been as popular in as maybe some of the other hustle gang or grand hustle performers? How did you react with those type of crowds? Was that a challenge for you? Did you ever feel like, it was just, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. The weird thing is though, like, out of all the cities we went to, people, like, I had fans at every show, and it just kind of showed me the power of the internet. But I think people were surprised to see me because I was like the only girl. And then throughout the whole tour, I went from like purple hair to green hair. So like when I'm coming out, they was fucking with me. So I don't really think I had a hard time in any cities. Of course, I got more love in places I'm already known, but they was fucking with me everywhere.
I see. Do you feel like with the reaction that you got, did you feel like you were more popular than you thought you might have been? Or
Definitely. Like, I'm humble for the most part. I like to think I am. But that showed me that going viral on the internet is like crazy for real. I didn't think I was known in these places like Spokane and LA and but I had fans there, like people that came to the show just because I was gonna be there, which was a blessing.
Now, Tip was the headliner.
Right.
He's obviously got probably the most experience out of anybody on that tour that performed. Did he give you any advice that stuck to you, or was it something that you saw in him that you really, took on to?
He's like comfortable when he goes out there. I think, like I was saying, they feed off your energy. So if people can tell that you're not comfortable or you're scared, they're gonna know that. So probably how comfortable he is, and he told me to be myself like when I first came into the hustle gang situation. So we had what is it called? Like people that tried to coach us to tell us how to perform. But when you're used to doing stuff a certain way and you're comfortable doing stuff a certain way, it's kind of weird to do it another way. So we had that in the beginning, but as we continue to perform on our own, it's like you kind of progress yourself.